All right, Amanda. Like I said before, thanks so much for doing this. My first question to you is tell the audience a little bit about yourself and how you started in the fitness realm.
Yeah, of course. So I'm Amanda Hart, and I got started in fitness as an athlete actually in 2008. And I fell into coaching after college at Equinox in 2008. I was hired as the second trainer for a club on the Upper East Side. So I got started there and I learned the ropes and I got my certifications. And I'm from New York, born and raised Long Islander. And honestly, I've been coaching, training, doing nutrition, and now it's evolved more into like mental health and mindset work as well. So a lot of people have called me like a life coach, but I do it all. I'm kind of like a one-stop shop. But primarily it's training, it's reverse dieting, it's weight loss. I work with a lot of women when it comes to their changes, menopause, perimenopause, metabolism, and hormonal health, as well as just mental health and strategies to just live the best possible life that we can, while taking care of ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Mm-hmm. So to that point, how do you sort of do that? What sorts of things do you do to like teach people to like figure out how to like eat right, exercise right, and um stay healthy, not just physically with your body, but also mentally.
Yeah, so it all depends on the person I'm working with. Some people come to me, they just want to focus on nutrition. Some people come to me, they just want to have a workout program, but it all depends on the individual. There are no cookie cutter programs that I prescribe. Everything is very individualized. So, it's going to look like designing a strength training program for the person. It's also going to look like monitoring their food intake to really get an idea of what they're eating on a regular basis so that I can give them feedback for that and make tweaks and changes based on their current habits. And then, as far as stress management and mindset work, it's really bringing awareness to their patterns, their everyday life, just habits, as it already is, and trying to add just moments of presence into their day by teaching them things like meditation, breath work, and EFT tapping.
Hmm, interesting. So like
Mhm.
because what sorts of approaches or sort of how do you sort of approach, really how to really how people should let me see if I'm asking this right. Um, what sorts of approaches do you use to like teach people how to, exercise regularly, eat right, that kind of stuff? Because there are other fitness professionals that have certain ways of doing this, but what's your approach to that?
Yeah, I'm very big on building sustainable habits that are going to fit in the person's life. I'm really not into like one way and that being the only way to do it. I'm a big believer in you having to meet the person where they're at. So, after taking like a very big in-depth dive into what the person's life is currently like, what their availability is like to fit in times to work out, I'm going to design a program specifically for them based on their availability, based on what they have access to, and their current eating habits, their current routines and schedules. For example, like I have people who they take clients out every night, they drink alcohol with them. It's not really sustainable and realistic for them just to give up going out to eat every single day for the next, year. So it's going to be very much based on what the current situation is of the client. So it does vary, but really building habits into their lives. It could be just drinking more water. It could be adding more greens into their rotation of food. It could be cooking more. If somebody's eating out 6 or 7 days a week, we're going to try to scale that back to 3 to 4. So really meeting the client where they're at and working on maintaining those habits. And nothing's done overnight. I'm not kind of like a drill sergeant type trainer. It's more like I'm working with the person. I'm learning the intricate details of their life so that I can make and design a program specific to them that will be sustainable and easy to kind of just maintain.
Mm-hmm. But my next question is, how do you sort of fine tune, those habits, those lifestyle eating habits? Because oftentimes, for example, um, people might have certain needs and certain limitations, if you will, that need some modifying, that need some adapting. So how do you sort of help facilitate that?
Yeah, I'm going to encourage them to track their macros and calories if they're looking to lose weight. If they are dealing with hormonal issues because they're under eating, we're going to slowly increase their overall caloric intake every day. It really just varies depending on the person and what they're looking to accomplish, but tangible, realistic goals based on their current habits and where they're looking to go. So that runs the gamut. That could be cooking more at home, doing macros and calories and counting there. It could also be eating more. Sometimes it means like, okay, we're actually going to increase your caloric load because you're actually under eating and your metabolism has slowed to the rate which you eat. So we're actually going to work on increasing your calories each week. It all just depends, on the client and where they're coming to me at that point in their lives.
Hmm. My next question is, what have you learned in doing this kind of work? Doing this kind of work, what impact has it had on you? Like personally, like how do your experiences, help teach other people to make better lifestyle choices, wellness choices, so that they could lead, have productive lives?
Yeah, of course. So, I think leading with empathy is like my superpower. I'm very in tune with the struggles of real life and trauma that most of us have to deal with, whether it be from our childhood or stuff that we've gone through in our adulthood. But everyone has some sort of battle that they're fighting, every one of us. Um, every one of us usually is struggling with something, some insecurity, some, old trauma belief, some belief system, some old narrative. So I think what's really helped me in my life become a better coach is leading with empathy and just understanding that we're human beings and no one is perfect. And I don't expect perfection from myself, and I definitely do not expect it from my clients. So really emphasizing that and really like, you know, coming in hard on that with my clients because it's amazing how much people are so hard on themselves. And we have this idea of, wanting to reach certain goals by a certain time. And when that doesn't happen, or if that doesn't happen, we are very negative and come down hard on ourselves and beat ourselves up. We're usually our worst critics, we're our hardest critics, so being that mirror for people and helping them realize, hey, you're focusing on all the things that you could be doing better, but here's the things that we've actually been doing really well. And this is actually a sign of progress. It's not always in the form of what we think it's going to be. It could be in the form of improving our relationship with food or having, a better body image, in general with ourselves, so the progress comes in the form of many different things. It's not always in the form of physical changes.
It's this idea of I'm not perfect enough, I'm not good enough, and sort of the advertising that you see on billboards and stuff. Advertising on billboards makes us think, oh, we have to be a certain way when we could just be like, what the heck? We don't have to confer, comfort,
Conform. Yeah, yeah,
conform
yeah.
to that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. My next question is, what do you still hope to learn um as a as a fitness coach or wellness professional? What is there something new that you're hoping to learn
Oh,
to
there's
add
always
on?
Yeah, there's always stuff to learn, and I'm always looking to improve my craft and become better. And I'm very open-minded, and knowing that I know very little, like in terms of um, the big world out there and what I do know. I would like to know more about hormones, hormonal health, and more holistic avenues to take in terms of just improving ourselves, whether that be with supplements, diving deeper into supplements, and holistic remedies like cupping. And I just love the spiritual component of things as well, like the EFT tapping, meditation, and blending that all together. So, where I want to go with my business is to really kind of take the holistic side of things up a notch and focus more on preventative health care. More things along the lines of just, doing things along the way that are going to help people stay healthy. Oftentimes in our Western culture, in our Western healthcare system, we address this already sick person, but what are we doing for the healthy people? How are we keeping the healthy people healthy? So making people aware, just educating people. So really like trying to come up with more ways, interesting, more fun ways to educate people, to teach them, and to kind of, my whole motto is, why give a person a fish and have them eat for a night when you can teach them how to fish and then they could eat for the rest of their lives. So that's really what I want to learn to do more and better as a coach, improve the holistic part of my craft, and really dial in on how I can educate people and teach people how to stay healthy. Because I think in our Western healthcare system, we're doing it wrong in simple to layman's terms, or just we're not doing enough before they come to you with the symptoms and signs of already being sick. What are we doing leading up to that? Are we educating people? Like COVID, for example, no one was talking about the benefits of getting outside and getting sunshine, vitamin D, going on walks, exercising. No, it was like the news wasn't even touching that. Why not? Why not? Like that's a simple thing that we could have been talking more about. Instead, we were encouraging people to stay indoors, staying away from each other. Probably the worst thing we could have done. So really educating people on how they can stay healthy and use the tools that they have very accessible to them.
My last question to kind of wrap this up is, what can other professionals who are entering the fitness wellness realm, what can they sort of learn to like better educate people how to eat right and exercise right and just kind of really do what you are doing, like teaching these people how to live a healthy, active lifestyle.
Yeah. I mean, I always say it, and I know it sounds kind of corny, but everything I've done with my clients, everything I've taught them, every program I've taken them through, every piece of nutrition advice I've encouraged them to try or do, I've done myself. So if you're a coach and you're looking to be the best coach you can be, definitely be open to learning from as many different coaches as you can. Get out there, even if you're looking to teach remotely, digitally, completely online, having the experience of coaching people in person really helps to elevate your online presence, in my opinion. So being, on the ground and hitting the ground running, talking to people face to face, it gives you kind of like, another layer of experience that you don't get from coaching digitally. So I think being in the field, coaching people face to face is really, really powerful and impactful, but also going through the programs yourself, because you can sit here and try to memorize stuff and try to write things down or remember it. But there is something about doing it yourself. It's ingrained in you. So then you know what it feels like when you prescribe that program or that nutrition plan for your client. You're like, okay, I know this part of the struggle and I'm with you. You can then relate to your clients better in that way.
hmm On that note, all right.